I first brought you this stock when I was trading at 62 cents about 2 months ago, as you can see here on July 14th. And since then, this stock is up about 90% as of today. At its peak, it was up around like 141%, but as of today, it's up about 90%. And in this video, I'm going to give you guys a quick update on what the technical is telling us and go over some short float information and share some news information that will be relevant to the stock price going forward. So if you watch my videos, you know that I'm a big fan of using the moving averages to determine the stock price, and the price was above the 50-day moving average and slightly below the 200-day moving average. And like I always say, like once it passes the 50-day moving average, and this was a great opportunity back here too, because it passed the 50-day moving average and it printed a buy signal on the daily chart. But I tell you, whenever it does that, it always comes up and tests the 200-day moving average, at which point it can reject it and trade down or like blow right through it. In this case, it did blow right through it. But I want you guys to pay attention, because this is something that this is how I find undervalued stock, this and a few other things like volume, high short float, and potential news that could act as a catalyst. But as you can see, from the time I posted the video, it traded up like 30%, but then it did go back down. So, it's not like it's going to keep printing green candles day after day and just, that's not how it works. It trades in waves. And that's something to pay attention to, because that will come into effect later in the video when I tell you like what I expect the price to do going forward. So as you can see, it traded up a little bit initially, came back down and tested this 50-day moving average. And then once it blew past the 200-day moving average, it almost came up and touched this first resistance price point at $1.66. So before I go forward, please make sure, if you're not subscribed already, subscribe to the channel, because I try to bring you undervalued stocks right before they go on a big rally. And obviously, like, it's not like from the day I first post the video, the stock just skyrockets. Give it like a few days, look at the information I'm presenting to you in the video, and you'll see, like, if you go look at all the videos, like after like a week or two, the stock does start to rally. And this is like a prime example of it. Like from the time I first posted the video, like even as of right now, even if you didn't sell at the peak, you're up over like 90%, which is like insane gain. The good news on the daily chart is that it did print a golden cross, and that's something that is a sign that the stock has reversed trend, that from this point on, the stock will rally up. Because as you can see, like, when's the last time we had any type of like golden cross? Like, if you keep going back, we don't see any meaningful golden cross. So we have a golden cross, a beautiful golden cross on the daily chart, which is a good sign. And so now we're going to go down in the time frame and look to see like how we can trade the stock, because it's not going to just keep shooting up from this point when I'm making the video. So take the education I give you in this video and figure out your own strategy. So on the 4-hour chart, we see that's below the 50-day moving average. And as you can see, like, we get lower lows and lower highs. So in the short term, even though we have a buy signal right here, in the short term, it does look like it wants to trade down. But let's look at the 45-minute chart and we can determine exactly where. So as you can see on the 45-minute chart, we got a sell signal on the super trend. And it is same thing, lower lows, lower highs, and it's below the both 50 and 200-day moving average. So in the short term, it could trade all the way back down to, like, say, this price point, and this could start to act as a support, $1.05. So let's see, let's draw a line there and then let's go back to the 4-hour chart and see, perfect match. On the 4-hour chart, you can see like there's two potential support price point at $1.05. So again, this is how it, like, long term, I believe this stock will go up to, like, higher and higher prices. But short term, like, this is how you want to look at it. You want to, like, the moving averages are a great tool, the moving average with the volume for like short term swing trade. So as you can see, like, $1.05 is acting as a support. And on the 45-minute chart, we have a clear sell signal and it's kind of trending down. So from here, it could come down to $1.05 and bounce off of it and then start its rally back up, or just trade sideways. But at this point, from this price point, it doesn't look like for the next, couple of days, it's going to do any major rally. It's going to at least consolidate. So that's something to look out for. But overall, like, if you take a look at the weekly chart, the overall trend is positive. The overall trend looks like it's going to trend up. We have a buy signal on the weekly chart and it's above the 50-day moving average. So on the weekly overall, it's going to come up and test this 200 moving average. Maybe it will take a few weeks, maybe a month or two, but it will eventually come up and test this 200 moving average on the weekly chart. So it just depends on where your mindset is. If you believe in the stock long term and you don't care what happens to your money, your capital for the next couple of months, this would be a good entry point. But if you want to time it a little bit better, if you want to swing trade, then use a 45-minute chart to like determine where your entry and exit position will be and make sure you have a good stop loss. And another thing I want to show you guys is the short float information. As you can see, as of last update, the short float is still high. Anything over 10% is considered very high, and the short ratio is also relatively high. But it has gone from the time I first made the video, it was like at 20%, and it has gone down. So, which is something we typically expect as the price goes up, like the price is up almost 100%. So, of course, you would expect the short float to go down, which is counter to like the video I made yesterday on plug power. So, you can go to my channel and check out the video on plug power. We saw like the short float is going up even though the price is going up. That means like if a short squeeze happen, it's going to be an insane short squeeze. So go check out that video if you're interested in a different stock called plug power. But okay, back to Tilray. The short float's still high, which is a good sign for a potential short squeeze, but we do see that it is going down, the short float, which is typically what you expect because the stock is up over like almost 100%. And also the short ratio is also 2.9, which means like if a short squeeze does start to happen, then it will take short sellers around like 3 days to cover their short position based on the trading volume. So the higher the short ratio, the better it is for people who are long the stock because the price will keep rallying up longer as opposed to if the short ratio was like zero point 0.9 or like below 1. That means the short sellers could potentially cover their position in like less than 1 day, in the one trading day. So those are good signs. And then when it comes to the news, let's see like what information we can gather. So the House committee approved a bill that includes a provision protecting state legal medical marijuana programs, which is one of the reasons why the stock had a significant jump, like 1 day jump. But overall, looking at the bigger picture, there's still a bill called HR 3617 that they are trying to push through, which will decriminalize marijuana. And this administration seems to be like pro decriminalizing marijuana. And so if this goes through, this is where all the hype is coming from. A lot of people are expecting this bill to be passed. And if this passes through, then you can just see this stock like skyrocket to like almost previous all-time high. So the previous all-time high is around $160. It's currently trading at $121. But if that bill passes through and with the short float still being high, like this right here, and this is why everyone on subreddit forums that I'm frequent in is hyping the stock up so much. So if we see something like that happen, that the bill passed, like week over week, we could see like a massive 500% increase, maybe even more than that because the stock is trading so low. So as you can see here, like it went from $27 all the way to like $160. And we could easily see the stock at least go up to $31, to be around like 20x from this price point if like that bill passes and the short float being so high. And the good thing about this kind of rally, this kind of short squeeze, is that we don't see a huge giant candle in 1 week, which would be hard to catch. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like almost a month and a half of like short squeeze action. So if you caught it like maybe a week later, you'll still be in massive profit. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel because if something like this starts to happen, then obviously I'll make a video and update you guys. But this right here, this is what like I think everyone is expecting to see. The subreddits that I'm looking at, people are like saying, oh, it's going to $10, $20, just crazy prices. But anything is possible from the GameStop days. Stock can definitely rally like to the moon. We just have to wait for a few more things to like come into place. But short term, I just wanted to give you an update. Looking at the 45-minute chart, and now we're looking at the weekly chart, and we see like on the weekly, it looks great. If this week it just stays at this price point and next week it trades above 123, then it will start its rally back up. And then if it breaks this previous local high and breaks $1.66, the next resistance is 255. So a lot of upside potential. Overall, long term, I am bullish on the stock, but short term, use the indicators and moving averages to like find a good entry point or lock in some profit if you're already in profit. And please give this video a like, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure you're subscribed to the channel, leave a comment. I respond to every single person who comments, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.